players, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going over the 5 most common mistakes that bass players make and how to avoid them. Let's get you sounding perfect every time. Mistake number 1. Not tuning before you play. This one seems pretty obvious, but it's worth repeating. Not tuning before you play is a mistake. Even if your bass was perfectly tuned yesterday or right before you put it in a bag to carry to a rehearsal, just check it again and tune it again if necessary. Changes in temperature, humidity, or even just an accidental touch to the pegs can throw it off. And the solution is simple. Just always check your tuning with a reliable tuner before every session or gig. Mistake number 2. Tuning by ear without a reference. Tuning by ear is a great skill to develop, but without a reference pitch you might be in tune with yourself, but not with the others. If this pitch, for example, is random, and you tune all the other strings according to it, it sounds tuned right before you start playing with the backing track or the other musicians. So always tune with the reference pitch, whether it's a tuner or the piano or at least the guitar player in your band. Mistake number 3 is tuning down to pitch. When your strings are tuned too high, like in my case right now, you should not just loosen your peg. If you do this, your tuning might be unstable. You need to go down, lower than an intended pitch, then stretch the string with this movement. Down, stretch, and then you tune it up slowly and carefully until you get the exact pitch. If you overdo it, just repeat it, put it down and slowly and carefully tune it up to the pitch, not down to the pitch. I got it for the string G, and now I'm going to tune the 3 other strings. When you've done your last string, it's worth it to check all the tuning of all the strings again, because when you tune them, you increase the tension of the neck and it might affect the tuning again. Mistake number 4 is ignoring intonation issues. You might perfectly tune your open strings, but when you press them on the fret number 12, which is supposed to be the same pitch, your tuner might show that it's not perfectly tuned. You can check it also with the harmonic on the fret 12. When you are not pressing the string, you just slightly touching it. The pitch is supposed to be the same with the open string. And now press it and check it with your tuner again. If your tuner shows that it's not perfectly tuned, then the problem might be here in the bridge. You need to adjust it. This happens pretty often. It won't affect you if you play only in the first positions, but if you want to use all the fretboard, it will affect you. If you are not sure what to do with your bridge, you can try it, experiment with it, or you can just take your bass to a tech for a proper setup. Mistake number 5 is not stretching new strings. One day when I was a teenager, I put the new strings on my bass for the first time in my life. I didn't know how to do it and I struggled, but finally I managed to do it. I wanted it really badly because someone told me that I would get a cool sound and our kids' band was preparing for an important performance. I did it just an hour before the performance and I was very proud of myself. But when our teacher learned it, he was really furious. He was so angry with the person who didn't explain to me that the strings need time to get stretched. And before they are stretched, they keep loosening the pitch and you need to retune them several times. I don't remember how we performed that day, but I remember it for all my life that you should not change your strings right before a gig. The strings will stretch themselves, they just need a few hours for that. You can make it faster, helping them and stretching them with your hand. However, be careful, because overstretched strings don't sound so crispy and bright, and you want them to sound new as long as possible, right? And there you have it, 5 tuning mistakes to avoid as a bass player. Tuning might seem simple, but there are some details to know about it. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more bass tips, and let me know in the comments if you've made any of these mistakes or if I missed one. Until next time, keep it in tune and keep grooving.